Hey guys, my name is Robert, and as you know, I'm a Ranger nerd. And I am so excited because I'm doing my very first interview, like one-on-one interview. This is so cool. And who am I interviewing? This is Lanie. Labens. Totally remember that. This is Lanie Labens of I Don't Do Subtle Management. So Lanie, are you a Ranger nerd?
I am a Ranger nerd. I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your Ranger nerd story.
So I'm 23. So I grew up watching Mighty Morphin, and I was like completely obsessed. That was my jam. Me and all the little boys. None of my friends who were girls liked Power Rangers. That's for boys. I'm like, it is not. There is a Ranger that is pink. There's nothing girlier than that. Not to gender or stereotype colors, but I'm just saying. As a matter of fact, like Kimberly was so my girl when I was 4 years old. I would not go by my name. Everyone had to call me Kimberly Sparkle Rose. So my mom knew then that I was gonna be a problem child, and I was an only child at that point. So you know that's always good. But yeah, and then after Kimberly pieced out, I pieced out. I was like, I'm done, and didn't think about Power Rangers for years. But up until about a year ago, when they started calling me, and here I am, you know, a little over a year later, and they're some of my best friends in the entire world, and they've really welcomed me into their group. I've traveled all over the world with them, and I've been on some ridiculous adventures, and there's no sign of it slowing down.
That is awesome. I'm extremely jealous of you because I see you hanging out. You know, we're here at Ranger Stop, and I see you hanging out with all these cool Power Rangers that I idolized as a child, and you're just hanging out with them as if no big deal. So I'm completely jealous. So something I forgot to mention to all my viewers, David Felding, as you know him, that's not Zordon. This is the real Zordon.
I'm Zordon.
This is Zordon. This is Zordon of I Don't Do Subtle. So tell us a little bit about I Don't Do Subtle.
So I Don't Do Subtle Management is my management company. I started it when I was 21 years old. Basically, I am a big believer in when you want to do something, you do it. You go for it. That's easier said than done, obviously, but it's kind of this weird thing that if you don't know you can't walk on water, you will.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I couldn't, and so I was just like, I can do that. way harder than that, but I was like, sure, whatever, no problem. So 2 years later, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I have about 30 clients, about half of which are Power Rangers, and I've done I don't know how many cons this year, and I'm looking at my schedule for next year and already crying, because I'm a full-time college student also. So this is not where I saw myself at 23, but I wouldn't change it for anything. It's a blast. But yeah, so I Don't Do Subtle. So we are the people that when you see your favorite actor at a convention, it's because of somebody like me. It's probably because of me. So we negotiate the deal for the actor. We make sure everything's taken care of. We take them to the show. If we're able, we're at the show with them and handling everything, the day-to-day kind of thing. So not that they couldn't do it themselves, but they couldn't. Yeah, so that's what I do. The first person I ever got to work with, the way I got started in this was Michael Rooker from The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Slither, Guardians of the Galaxy. Mike is amazing, and his manager is the one who really taught me how to do this. So I have to give all the credit to Juliet and to her business partner Tom. They took a chance on me because I was just some kid who was like, hey, I want to do this. How do I do it? And they taught me what I knew, and then after that I was able to do it on my own. And my first client was Andy McCarthy. He is the lead in Pretty in Pink. He's in St. Elmo's Fire, Mannequin. He directs Orange is the New Black now.
Okay.
So,
cool. Very cool.
So I started doing cons when I was like 14. I used to write for a doll magazine. I ran a doll shop. I worked for a Japanese doll company.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I loved it. It was a great career. It's funny because by the time I was 16, I had achieved all my career goals, so I had to reevaluate and do something new. But yeah, so I was doing that. I was writing for a magazine, a magazine that I grew up loving, and so that was like awesome. I thought nothing could get cooler than that. And then I started speaking at the cons, and I traveled all over the country speaking about dolls. I took my dolls to meetings. Usually I have a doll with me when I do cons even now, just because they're a kind of comfort thing. I like having them with me, but I don't this weekend. And yeah, so I was doing that, and then I met, there's a toy company called Pamphlets. There's actually someone here selling some pamphlets, but I met their Texas rep. He hired me to model for them. They put me in their comic, so I got to go to San Diego Comic-Con for the release of that, so that was cool. I would dress up. I was the Pamphlets princess. It's a lot like being Disney princess, and I would just stand there in costume and take pictures with the kids all day long. And then I'd be doing this, and sometimes the actors would invite me to after parties to go hang out and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is cool, whatever. I would see, you know, people doing the Hitler or organizing it, and I'm like, you know, how do I do that? That would be cool. I'd be really excited to put something down on my resume. Because you go to college, but you get your degree, but that doesn't mean anything. You're not guaranteed any kind of job or anything like that. So I was really interested in adding something to my resume that would be completely different. And it was the kind of thing where I'd been doing the doll stuff for a while. I absolutely loved it, but the magazine went under because a lot of magazines went under. My shop was going to close because it's hard to sustain. I live in Austin, Texas, where real estate's really expensive, and we were getting priced out. So I knew that was going to happen. So I was like, okay, it's time for the next thing. So I was about 6 months where I didn't have a job, and that was the first time since I was 15, and that was a weird 6 months. I was like, I don't have any money, what do I do? I can't buy things. And then I started doing this, and I haven't looked back since. And my boss at the toy company, the Texas rep, his name's Daniel. He's my business partner. He'd been going to cons for 20 years as a fan, and then got into Pamphlets, started working for them, and it was basically just a way he could get to go to cons for free and maybe make a little bit of money. And so after I stopped working for the toy company, I came to him and I was like, let's do this. He was like, we can't do that. I was like, yeah, we can. And he was like, you lead the way. I don't know anything about this. I was like, oh, I got it. I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll figure it out. Because that's always the attitude. Anytime I tell you, oh, don't worry, I got it, I'll figure it out, I have no idea what I'm doing. Just FYI, it's a secret about me, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I like that you say that. I'm totally honest.
Yeah.
And I just say, oh, you need me to go do that? Alright. I just want to let you know, I have no idea what I'm doing.
There you go.
And then I go do it anyways.
You know what? Life's too short to like second guess yourself. Just like go do it.
Yeah, you know, just trial by fire, right?
Exactly.
That way everybody knows that, you know, if I mess it up, they already had low expectations of me.
And then you rock it.
And then I rock it, and they're like, wow, I expected this to crash and burn. I'm like, yeah.
You're like,
I mean,
never underestimate me.
Yeah,
that's totally it. And I've had an entire lifetime of people doubting me and underestimating me and telling me I couldn't do things. And so I think that's kind of partly what motivates me, because anytime someone tells me I can't do it, I'm like, watch me. I'm like, you want to bet money on it? You're gonna lose. But yeah, so then we started doing that, and I had a lot of hiccups along the way. What I do sometimes is I'll email the acting manager of an actor, try and get in contact with them, whatever. And I emailed a manager about an actor, and the manager was like, "Oh, he'd love to do cons. That's a great idea. You know, what are you thinking?" So I told him, you know, what I had picked out or whatever. And then 2 days later, I got this irate phone call from this lady, you know, yelling at me for poaching her client. And I was like, whoa, I had no idea. You know, I would never do that. His manager never told me or whatever. So she, like, you know, ripped me a new one and yelled at me and everything. And I was like, look, I'm just some 21-year-old kid. Like, I'm sorry, you know. And she goes, oh, well, that's cute. I admire you for trying. You failed. And you shouldn't try again, but I admire you for trying. And I was like, okay, thanks. Awesome. So, and then like a week later, I booked like 3 people. So I was like, whoops, finger slipped. So yeah, it's just the kind of thing that with anything, any job that's cool, any job that's fun, everybody's gonna be against you. You're gonna have so much adversity, and that's how you know you're on the right track.
Okay.
So
you guys, one last question?
Sure.
Well, 2 questions.
Okay.
First question is, everybody's going to be jealous of you after I ask this question. And
okay.
This is why I'm jealous of you.
Okay.
Because like I said earlier, see you around, you're talking to all these rangers, like you know them, and you do know them, you hang out with them.
Yes, I do.
You told me earlier that you went to Jason David Frank's house, like it was no big deal.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, real quick. So what's it like being best friends with all our talented heroes?
It's surreal. It's surreal because I grew up watching Power Rangers, and with a show like Power Rangers, Rangers. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is another show that I was really into. So when I watch those kind of shows, you grow up watching that, and they are your friends. You tune in every week to hang out with your friends. Yeah. Especially for someone like me, I moved around a lot as a kid. I didn't have friends for most of my life. Like I can pinpoint times where I had no friends. Like my toys were my friends, my TV shows were my friends. And so to do that, to have that, and then to grow up and to actually be friends with them, I pinch myself all the time because I don't believe it. I was on my way somewhere last night with Steve Cardenas, and I looked over at him.
Rocky the Red Ranger.
Rocky the Red Ranger. And I'm like, Steve, I'm so glad we're here together. He's like, I'm so glad you're here. And it just like it blows your mind. It blows my mind every day. And I feel very, very lucky. Not that I haven't worked hard for it, but why me? Out of all the 7 billion people on Earth, why did I get this chance to do this? I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing. In August, some Rangers came to Houston for an event, and I was going to Pensacola to be with the team, actually, so here in Florida. And it was cheaper to fly out of Houston than it was Boston, so I drove to Houston, which is about 2 hours away, and met up with the Rangers that were there because they came in a few days early, and so I partied with them. Allison McInnes, Pink Lightspeed, is one of my best friends in the entire world, and so...
Done. No, I'm sorry.
This interview's over. You don't want to hear about JDF's house?
Okay, so
alright, let's finish. So she's like, JDF wants us all to come over, and we're gonna hang out for the day. And I was like, okay, well, I gotta catch a plane early next morning. She's like, you gotta come though, like, you gotta come. And I was like, okay, fine. So I go. His house is awesome. His house is awesome. He hired a magician to come over and entertain us. We raced the Maserati in the Land Rover and fed us, and I fell in the pool. Everybody was swimming, but I don't swim. I know how to swim, but I don't like to. I still ended up in the water, because that's just how it works. And yeah, I got to hang out with some of my best friends all day. I love Jason Pond.
Some of my best friends all day. Jason, Frank, Jason Pond, Allison McInnes, just my best friends.
Just whatever.
I hope you all are as jealous as I am, so that way I'm not the only one, green with envy.
Like Green Ranger with envy, right?
Yes,
yeah, there
exactly.
you go.
I like the connection you put it there.
Thanks, I'm pretty good at that. But yeah, so that was that. It was a magical day, and then I had to get up super early the next morning and meet Azim here in Florida. And Azim and I had a ridiculous weekend in Pensacola, and then I flew back to Houston and hung out with them for 2 more days, and then went back to Austin. We went to NASA together. NASA's a blast. I like doing that. We went to Universal. I went to Universal with the Rangers. When was it, Friday? Harry Potter World. Azim and I were dying because he's 24 and I'm 23, so we're the Harry Potter generation. Yeah. So we were like, I thought both of us were gonna cry. Like, we had a moment. We walked in the day, got out, and we were like, it's all come true. Like everything we've always been waiting for, it's here. And then I went into Honeydukes and I was like, oh my god. So yeah, and it made it more fun to be with my friends and to be with people who were so much fun.
Yeah, I mean it is cool. Last night I was hanging out with you all.
Yeah,
and that was awesome. Sucks. I got invited out to go hang out with them, and then because I'm a loser and a nerd, I don't pack. Even though when my better half tells me, hey, bring some nice clothes.
You ruined it for Beth.
And I just bring tennies, and they're like, you can't get them.
And we totally could have gotten you in too. It was yeah, it's complicated. There's a lot of dynamics to it, but yeah,
so,
we got there, we were like, oh, they totally. Yeah,
I'm just saying, you all know I love Austin St. John, Red Ranger. We've seen the fan work in the background of my other videos, but Azim just totally was just cool with me last night, hanging out with me, invited me out, and I was like, all right, Azim fandom right now is what's going on.
He's a charming guy. You gotta watch out for him.
Really. Last question.
Okay.
Right, just what do you want to say to all the other Ranger nerds watching, to everybody else? You said some pretty inspirational stuff. So what is the one thing you want to tell them?
I just want to tell them that to be themselves, really and truly. It sounds corny, but I've gotten everywhere I am by being myself. Yeah. I was bullied. I got dragged through the mud. I spent a lot of years being unsure of who I was because everyone made me unsure of who I was, and then I came out the other side, and now I hang out with Rangers. So it's hard to feel that way when you're in the moment and you're like, this sucks, I should conform, I should change myself to be what I want to be. But if you're getting that kind of negative attention, then honestly you're doing something right by being yourself. And I told this little girl yesterday, because she was like, I'm going to middle school next year and I like 3 things. I like ponies, Ninja Turtles, and Power Rangers. I'm not going to be friends. I was like, don't worry about that. I was like, if anybody picks on you, you tell them the Power Rangers are your friends, because they are. And that's what I think is so great about the show, is that when it comes down to it, it's that group of people that are looking out for you and they're looking out for each other, and I really love that. And I've always been drawn to stories like that, and I feel very lucky to be living a life that, you know, is kind of like that. So if you take one thing away from anything I said today, it's just keep being you and be happy with who you are, and in the long run you will end up much better on the other side. I promise that. So. Thank you so much for watching this today. Make sure to check out more of Robert's videos. They're awesome.
Check out I Don't Do Subtle.
Yes,
so plug.
Yes. If you would like to follow the adventures of some of your favorite rangers, definitely follow me on Instagram. It's I Don't Do Subtle. Twitter is I Don't Do Subtle. I have a Facebook fan page. It's just my name, and then my company has a fan page that's I Don't Do Subtle, and we post about all the upcoming cons. It's a great way to get in touch with us and tell us, the Rangers, do you want to see a cons near you? So I hope to get to meet you all someday. I'm having a blast at Ranger stuff. Power Ranger fans are the best fans.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you want to see more Ranger nerdy stuff, more interviews that I plan on doing later, and just branch and all that other kind of cool nerdy stuff, Power Ranger related, go ahead and click that subscribe button and check this out. Go ahead, check I Don't Do Subtle. There's links down there at the bottom to all of her pages, and pretty exciting news for next week's videos. You know, just so check them out. Thanks.
Bye.